Hello everyone, aagrg here with another Steel Division 44 replay. Now it's the first replay I'm casting that's actually out of the beta and it's a fully launched game. So it means a lot of new factions and units that I may not know about. We got a large armored and motorized force coming over here. We got just various individual units. We got Command Dingo and our Lloyd carrier. I probably should mention the players. We got Current, who is playing as our guard's armor. I think he's over here with all the armor. And we got the aagrg as the Canadian Infantry versus their opponent as Hinkel as the Panzer Lehr and the Duke as the Panzer or 116th Panzer. Let's see, Hinkel is over here, so we do have. Oh, that's probably an easy way to show. The Duke's over to the right, the Hinkel's over to the left. We got aagrg, the Canadian Infantry, over to the left, and we got Current over here at the right. We have two Spitfires going around. They do have a bomber unit. This could be quite devastating. They're just currently a little bit on open ground. You have a nice defensive position right here, though it's a bit far back, so he's exchanging quite a bit of land for that good defensive position. You got the ME-109 coming in for a strafe. Ooh, will drop a bomb, pins down the pack team down to 2 members. Spitfire is almost out of fuel. That seemed awfully quick. I wonder if they reduce the amount of fuel in the aircraft. These trucks going reverse moving? Yes, these trucks are currently reverse moving into battle. Ooh, looks like we got some very good hits, and looks like the aircraft does in fact get shot down by the ME-109. We do got the AA unit and another Spitfire out on the field. Currently, this ME-109 has sustained quite a bit of panic. I saw there is a Vet 2 ME-109. This unit's now initiated fallback. This ME-109's on intercept course. This Spitfire may need to go back. He's currently... Ooh, he's going to get some very nice bursts off. Nope, he decides to fall back also. These various Canadian rifles will get pinned down and suppressed. We got this Dingo here. Looks like just out of range. Nope. Behind a line of sight blocker of the pack. Pack will be start to fire now, but we'll find the line of sight blocker. They have not seen it anyways. Hombar, not Dingo. The Dingo's are the command unit. Over here we got various infantry units. We do got a recce and rifles. Looks like they will find a half-track and Panzer Grenadiers. More half-tracks. Very large mechanized force is pushing on forward here. This Crusader is a very potent anti-infantry since it is also an AA unit. You also have a Stuart over here and some rifles. Very heavy on Cromwell. Recon unit is falling back. 2 members. He will get ripped apart quite quickly. And plus, as a Vet 3 unit, he will pretty much instantly die. There goes the Jeep with the 50 or 30 cal. A unit starts to lay into these units. Rifles get pretty much pinned down instantly by all the rifle fire. We got another Cromwell right here. Cromwell Mark 5. We have more and more aircraft looming around. Various air superiority aircraft strafing the area. Only there is a attack beacon. We'll force the 6-pounder away, but there's not any heavy vehicles really engaged. You can only hit the half tracks. The Crusader is getting quite a bit of damage and forces a fallback. No model deaths on the 6-pounder. Front line has been established. Got a huge amount of infantry over here and supporting half tracks. Looks like that was a Panzer III. They do got Panzer IIIM. Panzer IIIM does have 10 armor penetration, so it can effectively take on any of the tanks currently available to their opponent. However, they only have 7 armor, which can be taken out by any of the, even of the Stuart. We got the AA tank getting hit by the Pak 38. Rolling some misses, only has 3 armor, so it can quickly die. We got a bombing run coming on in. Not exactly sure where. We'll see he's hitting the mortar half tracks. Get some panic, but not any kills. Ooh, there goes the command Cromwell. That's to the Pak. Though it does take out the Pak, but that's still largely worth it for the Axis team. As the Grenadiers will get pinned down, rifles will start firing the LMGs, which will sustain the pinning. Looks like they'll initiate a fallback. Half tracks are starting to get cleaned up. There's still this huge force over here. Only if there's a Mosquito Pathfinder for the incendiary run. We've got a Piat team coming on forward, but it's getting hit by a Pak 38. We'll deploy it. Half tracks firing upon the Stuart and the infantry squad. Ooh, infantry instantly get pinned down. Battle phase B will be initiated in about a little less than 3 minutes. And then we'll start seeing heavier armor being deployed in aircraft. Ooh, all these units are getting pinned down thanks to the suppression of the Kubo MG. Centaur doing some great amount of work against the units. Will decrew the Pak 38. Oh, there's 2 Centaurs. That explains that. There is a 6-pounder here to take on any of the Panzer III. It does have the AT cover, but he has to make sure the Crusaders are not exposed in line of sight to the Panzer III when there's the 6-pounder not being shown. If that makes any sense. In other words, stay in cover of our 6-pounder. Looks like the Crusader tank over here did get cleaned up. Half-track will go in and tank the damage first for the Panzer III, draw the fire. Ooh, but the 6-pounder actually aims for the Panzer III and takes it out. Sorry about that. Somebody was yelling down to me. Alright, we do got various mortars getting hit in all these infantry squads. They're just... He knows there's a lot of mortars. They can't really push forward in a blobby group like that. Looks like we are going to see a bombing run to the area. Hopefully we can take out at least the supply unit. Drops of bombs. Looks like this largely misses. Initiates panic and fallback on a couple of them. Got this Panzer Grenadier unit just out of range of the Panzerfaust range to hit the AC. You got a Ram 2 now coming out. Ooh, takes out that Command Panzer III. Now there's one more Panzer III. Battle phase B is almost initiated. We haven't seen any recent units being deployed out the field other than some various infantry units. So we most likely will see a huge deployment by the Axis team or once Battle Phase B is initiated, which it is. Do got a Panther D coming on out. Panzer IV. So we are going to see two heavier tanks. Well, they're both medium tanks, but heavier than the tanks already out in the field. The Panther currently has no counter on the field I can see. All the units are at 11 armor penetration, so as long as the frontal armor is shown, it should be able to make a very effective push. The Command Panzer IV, will, of course, is a great, well-rounded tank. It can help inspire nearby troops, because it's a leader. These two mortar teams just ripping apart these infantry squads. Get this AA half-track just firing upon these infantry squads will force a fallback. Panzer 3M is in line of sight of the 6-pounder. We got Cromwell Mark 6. It is equipped with a basic short-range howitzer. And there goes the Panzer 3. He sent it a bit too far out and got hit by Pack and started getting hit by Cromwell. You got some Canadian stormtroopers equipped with MP40s and Sten guns. They're basically the Stoßtruppen. It probably translates to stormtroopers. Stormtroop, or however you actually properly pronounce it, the Axis with a German accent. You got a light AT half track. You got various infantry squads moving forward. The AC is getting laid in. Various balances actually is still exposed in side armor and will eventually get taken out by the Pack 38. We got another bombing run coming on here. This is a Spitfire Mark 10. We'll take out. I don't think I actually took out any of the mortar teams yet, but does quickly get taken out by ME-109. Spitfire ME-109 are going to initiate a dogfight. However, there's another Vet 2 ME-109 rolling on forward, flying his aircraft. And 2 is greater than 1. And we'll splash down this Spitfire. I think they increased the air superiority damage between aircraft. Because before it was ungodly amount of damage they could take. And now suppression a bit more effective versus them. As we saw with the Crusader AA tanks. You got Focke-Wulf 190 coming down for a bomb run onto the 6-pounder. Trying to prevent any threat to the Panther D. Currently the side armor is shown to the Ram 2, and the Panther D has a side armor of 5. Ram 2 is lining up shot, but the front armor is now being turned. Ooh, you got a Sherman Firefly coming on now. Sherman Firefly does have 16 armor penetration versus 13 armor. It can penetrate the frontal armor. You got a rocket run, initiates a fallback. But the ME-109 is coming around for strafing. He may be able to take it out. You got his engagement over here, but the aircraft is smoking, but initiates a fallback. The Typhoon will manage to get out. Various pinto mounts engaging the ME-109. Holy crap, that's a lot of MG fire upon the Panzer Grenadiers. From the Panzer Grenadiers, we do got the rifles just being laid into. Focke-Wulf 190 will come in for a bombing run to finish it off. Actually, yeah, it did finish it off. Mortar team trying to hit the Pack 40, but the Pack 40 is actually in range of the mortar team, but it's currently pinned down. And initiating the fallback. Cromwell 6 get a very good hit on the Pack 38. Does score a hit, but it was a bounce. Pack 38 hit was cleaned up. You got the ME-109 coming for a straight round, trying to displace the infantry. These two mortar teams are just ripping apart these allied squads still. He may want, though, some bit more infantry to help protect the area. He does have a Pack 38 for AT. But there's a lot of kangaroos coming forward. A 4 armor transport with a lot of MGs. Ooh, one of them gets taken out, I think. Nope. Looks like just now one of them does. The Axis player has been trying to push forward. They have gained ground. They're currently at 73%. Currently, the tickets are slowly going to surpass their opponents, and they're in pretty good position at the moment. This Panzer IV has been laid upon, engine destroyed. Now there goes, gets taken out. Armoured is out of HE rounds. Focke-Wulf 190 coming for a bombing run will hit the mortar team and wipe it out. Kangaroos with their big MGs, with it's a 50 caliber machine gun and 4 armor, they're very resilient. Though these mortar teams just constantly laying into these infantry squads, removing them. Looks like we're going to see another bombing run of Mosquito, so this is a heavy bomber in comparison. Granted, Mosquito is actually a fighter bomber. It also has a lot of MGs for strafing runs. Bombs coming in. We'll take out a mortar team and a supply truck. There is an AA here at 37 millimeter. And we do also have a flak 88 on the field. Flak 88 does have 15 armor penetration, slowly moving around this corner. Perhaps maybe he should just put inside this forest. Go inside the forest. I think one can. So. Infantry mounts will force back the ME-19. We've got a Panzer barrage coming in here. We'll decrew the pack. May hit the infantry squads. Will cause a lot of panic in the area. We got assault more infantry coming on forward. Pack 40 will be destroyed. Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier Fuhrer as are laying to this initial rifleman squad. We've got the Sherman 5. Sherman 5 can engage the Panzer Grenadiers if it gets some line of sight, however. We've got a Focke-Wulf 190 coming for a bombing run. This is hitting the unit that's falling back. Largely misses because it thinks it's actually falling back. These Panzer Grenadiers should be displaced soon. There's a Sherman currently firing upon them. So actually not losing any models yet, thanks to the fact that Vet 2. And in heavy cover, I should also say. The Sherman 5 is trying to hit the Panzer Grenadier Fuhrer, the officer unit. We do got the Flak 88 now hitting on these Cromos. Will score a bounce somehow. Pretty sure that should pretty much always penetrate if it hits. Focke-Wulf 190 coming for a bombing run. Maybe eyeing for the AA unit in the area, the Staghound A8. Doesn't getting direct hits will cause a huge amount of panic in the area. ME-19 coming for a strafing run. Panzer Grenadiers finally get cleaned up after getting hit by a lot of riflemen. Looks like this Typhoon AT was coming for a strafe, but this ME-19 actually managed to intercept it when I was doing a strafing runs. Looks like we got a counter mortar, 4.2 inch. 2-inch mortar. We'll be getting some nice hits. We'll take out the anti-aircraft weapon. Now it's just down to an officer unit and a mortar half-track. We got a Wolverine out in the field for AT. Oh, a Command Panther is now rolling on forward. There's only one unit of Piats in the field. Oh, looks like one of the aircraft does manage to go down. Flak 88 has been taken out. We do got a transport and a AA half-track here for defense now. Another Panzer III, a Panzer IIIL is now being deployed out in the field. Panzer coming for a barrage into the town area, largely going to scroll roll of misses. Bombs coming on in. It's the general area, though he did move back the units in time, just going to cause panic. We got an attack here. Looks like he's talking about the 6-pounder. Heroes and various infantry squads are moving forward. This Panther I have a lot of work ahead of him trying to deal with all of these units. They definitely need some more defense over here. Perhaps a heavy bomber. A heavy bomber would do great in this area. And the map control is in favor of the Allies player. They're currently taking up. Soon they will meet their opponent in tickets. There's just not enough support here. There's just so much infantry. Granted, there's nothing really to take out the Panther other than this Piet team. This unit is going to be well out of range, trying to deal with any of the armored. We do got some more reinforcing Axis units. More, we do got a light AT half-track with an AT gun, reconnaissance unit to spot. Actually, has I been calling that an AA half-track this entire time? That's a 251. Yeah, this is still the AA half-track. We got a bomb run coming on in. Does do a great amount of suppression and get some models. We got some AA, however, moving on forward. Vet 2 AA pieces can be quite deadly. There's more teams currently out of ammo. We got another Panther moving on forward and another Panzer III. A lot of Axis armor has been deployed. We're currently in battle phase C. So now the Panzer Lehr player does, of course, have access to the King Tiger. You may be seeing that sooner because it's very hard to deal with that big frickin' 21 armor. Ooh, but this unit may be taken out by the ground-based pintle mounts. However, it will not. We got a lot of Cromwells here. Nothing to really engage the Panther. We got Typhoon 8 rocket rod coming forward. Will cause panic and force the fallback, but we do have an interceptor here. Will most likely take out the Typhoon. Yes, it will. Will drop in and cut blocks off the road. I wonder if it actually blocks movement. Probably going to maybe find out this game. In War Game Red Dragon, a pile of corpses like a bunch of tanks going across a bridge can completely block off the bridge. Huge suppression coming back. I think there must have been some sort of bomb around. Maybe it was the Panzerwerfer forcing the fallback, causing suppression. This Kangaroo is almost out of ammo. Could fall back to the mortar team where an ammo truck is now. You got a mosquito bomber run, and I'm going to sneeze. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. And we do got the bomber run hitting the Panther. Will probably cause falling back. Yes, it does. Panzer III does get destroyed by the Sherman Firefly. Panther is in a very defensive position. Ooh, looks like that unit has surrendered. Its flank has been largely lost. He needs to get reinforcing infantry to the area. He may be out of infantry. That's maybe why we haven't seen more. You got a 6 Sherman Firefly coming forward, which does have enough armor penetration to engage the Panther. The Sherman Firefly does get killed off by the Panther A. And we do have the King Tiger coming on out. There's nothing in the area to really handle this. There's no bazookas or Piets to engage from the side armor if he pushes too far forward. Nothing to penetrate the frontal armor at 20 of that ridiculous amount of armor. So he's going to just need to start laying into it with all which aircraft and force it away. So the Panzer Warfare was cleaned up. You can see the wreckage right here. Typhoon AT coming in, hitting the... Ooh, and actually takes out the Panther. Very nice. We got a lot of NGs laying into this reconnaissance unit. We'll force a pin down. Actually, and managed to re-stealth out of that somehow. Got a Dingo being bailed out. King Tiger has killed off the AA Crusader tank. We got a bomber run onto the Panther, which will cause quite a bit of suppression. Enemy tickets are in favor of the Allies, but this can quickly change. This area is now getting hit by a Nebel Warfare. King Tiger slowly moving forward. And you got quite a bit of AA actually in the area. He's trying to maintain air superiority by the ground-based forces. I wonder, is there a joint force? Just the Duke in the area. Not sure. It was Hinkel saying push forward in this area. He does have a significant amount of force here. Nothing really here to defend against all this armor. Over here, this area is starting to be overrun by Allied units. He might need to set up a good defensive position. There's a huge bulge coming forward. We do got a lot of aircraft that are being deployed. We do see some bombing runs. Most likely we'll take out the stormtroopers. Actually, no, completely misses. Just causes pin down. Got strafing runs coming on forward. We got Tempest here for air superiority, though it is not veterancy up, so may be able to escape out this ME-109. We got this one on the tail. We got a Mosquito coming for a bombing run. Does get a splashdown onto the Tempest. Mosquitoes coming in for a bombing run. Will perhaps do quite a bit of damage to this area. Will cause the deviation to fall back on that unit, but everything else will manage to escape out. We do got the ME-109 coming in for a run, but is out of some ammo. Mosquito is still sustaining more damage and will get splashed down. That's a huge loss. However, Allies are still at +2 tickets, and there's not any huge offensive force in this area to help engage it. We do got the King Tiger now rolling forward. Side armor is exposed to the one direction, but nothing here to capitalize on it. ME-109 coming for a bombing run. Will most likely get the Piet team. Yes, it will. Various pinto mounts and AA units will help force back these units. And what they need over here is just a heavy bomber. I don't think they actually have a heavy bomber available. We do got our time on target here. I'm not sure what's calling it in. Oh, here we go. We do got 203mm. That may be strong enough to take out the King Tiger. Maybe it's a focus barrage instead of a regular time on target. Hinkel saying attack with the King Tiger. There is the side armor of the King Tiger is 9, so even the side armor of the Cromwell will have a huge trouble dealing with it. Got the artillery being brought in. You get some nice panic onto the King Tiger, who initiates a fallback. The side armor is exposed. Cromwell 6 may get a good side armor hit, but it's currently behind a line of sight blockers. Axis mechanized units are pushed forward. Various units are being pinned. Of course, infantry is not all too great versus mechanized transports. We got a Sherman Firefly in the area. We got another time on target in this general area. Oh, he is still largely quiet. We do got some various mechanized units moving forward, but there's just way too many units. There's even stormtroopers here. Stormtroopers, of course. Oh, wait, they're 6-man? Holy crap, I thought they were 5-man. They're 6-man. So they're maybe even more effective than the stop troops. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce anything in another language. Got the artillery raining in. We'll force back the Panzer IV. The Pia team, or the Shrek team, is getting hit but not pinned. We got this light AT transport trying to hit this Wolverine, but it has 8 armor. This has only 5 armor penetration. We'll try hitting the stag now. Do got a Mosquito coming in for a bombing run. Is trying to eye for this Panzer IV. Will cause the panic. Will cause the panic here. It looks like this Mosquito will be killed off. There's AA in the area. Oh, but it's moving. It moves faster than the air superiority fighters. We do got a lot of AA to protect it. Oh, does manage to barely get out of there, but it'll probably take the rest of the game to repair it. We got another time on target. That may be the last time on target available for the 203 Universal Carrier. Wonder, the King Tiger is once again moving forward, ripping to these squads. We got another Panther rolling on forward. Do got quite a bit of Axis heavy armor. And do got some more and more reinforcements in the area. Looks like the various units have been cleaned up. The stormtroopers are still in the back. These stormtroopers affected by this transport are Vet 3. We got some Storm Pioneers in the area, but of course they need to be inside the urban areas to be any effective. We got a Ju-88, so we do have a heavy bomber available to these players. We're going to lay in. Oh, may destroy all these infantry squads. Actually, he largely misses. If he would have focused on the front ones, perhaps, and came at an angle, perhaps he could have got him. Or coming over here would probably be good, helping out his ally. Do got another King Tiger out on the field. Where's the other King Tiger? Here it is. Destroys the Sherman Firefly. That's probably the biggest threat currently to him. Now there's only the Wolverine. The Wolverine can penetrate the side armor, but will actually have a severe amount of trouble. King Tiger's rolling on forward. I wonder, can he actually crush the infantry? Wolverine does. Nope, that was a Cromwell 6. AA unit does get hit. You got some light bombs coming in, but it won't even really panic the King Tiger. Various mechanized Axis units are coming forward, but currently the Axis are still at 44% map control. King Tiger now behind the lines. King Tiger lining up a shot, does receive a bounce. Bomber comes in, does hit the rifles. King Tiger, I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to aim for. He can't hit the Wolverine. Ooh, but the other King Tiger nails into the Wolverine, and this King Tiger hits the Cromwell 6. AT run coming on in. Ooh, but King Tiger surrendered! King Tiger surrendered thanks to nearby rifles and the panic from the nearby. From the AT straight, the King Tiger has surrendered to a bunch of people with rifles. I'm going to make a little bit of highlight about that. That's around 35 minutes. We got a Mosquito coming in for a bombing run. We'll mostly get the supply truck. Well, it may be taken out by this Vet 1 ME-19. Severe amount of damage has been put up on it, and it does in fact get shot down. Panther's trying to roll on forward. It's needed to do the Sherman Firefly. The Sherman Firefly can penetrate frontal armor. Ooh, and Assault Pioneers plus Stormtroopers will cause that squad to instantly surrender. Just moving forward, and with that King Tiger being surrendered, that's just pretty much probably sealed the deal for this game. That's a huge asset lost. The fact that it's surrendered to rifles. We got some mortar barrages trying to hit the Nebel Warfare. Looks like it's rolling a lot of misses, but the Nebel Warfare is out of ammunition. We got another number of sextons coming on out. Sextons do also have some armor penetration. I wonder, what's the range? Yeah, just, I wasn't sure if it's direct fire or artillery range, but it is artillery range. King Tiger will get hit by the bombs, but won't do much, and will get in the aircraft will in turn get shot down. You got various stormtroopers and incendiary teams inside these forests, so most likely it will not fall down to any infantry assault. You got the King Tiger starting to be overwhelmed by kangaroos. Kangaroos are going ahead and taking the fire. They do have 8 armor penetration, well, armor, an absurd amount of armor, and the Firefly takes out the King Tiger. May have been hit a side armor shot. Yeah, there is a bit of side armor shown. Both King Tigers are down. That's just the final nail in the coffin for the Axis team. A87 coming in for a bombing run, which will most likely get most of these squads. Just gets the one member. Ram Kangaroos, 8 armor. That's absurd for a transport. Following the Canadians. I wonder, is it actually Canadian origin, or is it actually imported from Britain or the United States? I was just constantly trying to strike the area, but with +3 tickets and down the last 5 seconds, this game is over. What could have done differently? I would say a bit more bombings in this area, But other than that, this is aagrg saying thank you for watching and signing off.